Hello everyone, this is Dino from Prehistoric Facts. This is Prehistoric Facts Extra episode number 45. We're doing another specimen pathology, and so this is specimen pathology number 2. And so the specimen we're going to be talking about is a theropod dinosaur, and this one is Black Hills Institute 3033, or known as Stan. So this is a Tyrannosaurus rex specimen, and I will do another Tyrannosaurus rex specimen at some point later this year, or possibly next year. But you probably know the one I'm talking about, and that would be Sue. But that would happen later down the line in the future. So let's talk about Stan. So some information about Stan. Stan was discovered in 1987 by amateur paleontologist Stan Sacrison. So there you get the name Stan on this Tyrannosaurus rex. It was fully excavated in 1992 by the Black Hills Institute of Geological Research. So that's the Paleontological Institute that is in the Black Hills area in Hill City. And I recommend you guys go check that place out, because that is just such a cool place to take a look to see some really nice specimens that they got there. And Stan is nearly 70% complete, so not as complete as Sue, and so this is going to be not as complete. So some of the bones that were missing were some bits of the legs, some bits of the feet, base part of the tail, the shoulder blades, and the arms were missing. So there's still some bits of the animal still missing. Even the tip of the tail was missing. So yeah, so there's a lot of bones that were missing on Stan. And of course, Stan has one of the most complete skulls of any Tyrannosaurus rex specimen that is out there. And I would say Stan's skull is probably the most impressive, because it looks so clean and it's not as distorted. So it is just unbelievably well preserved. I'd say Stan's skull is probably the best preserved skull of any Tyrannosaurus rex that is out there. And also, Stan is the most replicated Tyrannosaurus rex skeleton, and so anywhere that you're going to find a Tyrannosaurus rex skeleton, it's mostly going to be Stan in a museum. But there's some museums that will have the American Museum of Natural History specimen. But yeah, Stan is going to be the one that's going to be featured the most in most museums. But yeah, so wherever you find a Tyrannosaurus rex skeleton, it's most likely going to be Stan, but sometimes it's going to be the American Museum of Natural History specimen. So let's talk about the pathologies on Stan. So Stan's got several broken ribs. Don't know how many. When I get a chance to see Stan again at some point, I will probably take some pictures of the rib area, so that way I can see which ribs were broken. Stan has two cervical vertebrae that are fused. So cervical vertebrae, that's the neck vertebrae. So those are the neck vertebrae. So two fused neck vertebrae that are fused together, and one cervical vertebrae is immobilized, so it was not functional after it got injured. And of course, Stan's got bite marks on the cheek areas of the skull, and also it's got a bite mark on the back of the brain, right on the brain case. And of course, it's got parasitic holes in the lower jaw. So this is a similar type of thing that's happened to Sue for those parasitic holes in the lower jaw. So this picture right here, this is going to be one of the ribs of Stan. So you can see how abnormal this rib is, and this is just all cross section and CT scans of this rib. And so yeah, so you can kind of see how abnormal it really is based on picture A right here on this image. So they're actually looking down here in the shaft part of the rib. So this whole rib here was probably broken due to either a fall or a fight with another Tyrannosaurus rex. So that could be the case right there for this rib. But there's still more research need to be done on some of the pathologies on some Tyrannosaurus rex specimens. Now here's the neck of the cervical vertebrae of Stan. So when you look on this side right here, so this is where on the right side of this image on the left, on the right side, this is where the skull is going to be placed. And right back here, this is a, or I should say, I might be wrong on that. That might be near the base of the neck, and here's the area where it is pretty close to the skull. So you can see this abnormal vertebrae that is right there. So this is going to be the two vertebrae that are fused together, and that is a detrimental injury. So whatever happened to Stan here was probably due to a broken neck. So Stan suffered a tremendous trauma in the neck area, but didn't really kill him. But Stan survived that ordeal right there. So that is amazing to see that a Tyrannosaur like this has survived a traumatic neck injury. And here's one of the bite marks that is right on the cheek areas of Stan. So this hole would be from another Tyrannosaurus Rex. So this is from another Tyrannosaurus Rex tooth. So Stan got bit in the face quite a bit in its lifetime. Now, a lot of theropods you are going to find bite marks on the skull area. So this is very common amongst theropods, and mostly on Tyrannosaurs, you're going to see gouge marks or puncture wounds on the skull in the skull area. So you're going to see a lot of bite marks in the skull area. So one on the cheek area. Now this image, if you just look on the left side of the back of the brain case, so if you look at the top of the brain case, so the brain case is going to be the area where you see this little bulb right here. That's where it's going to attach to the neck. So if you look on that left side right there on the top part of that brain case, you see this hole right there. That is from another Tyrannosaurus Rex. So Stan got bit right in the back of the head, and this hole, in actuality, would have been nearly 2 inches wide. So you can kind of see some of the bone is kind of rehealing there. There would have been a thin layer of bone covering this hole, but in terms of fossilization, it did not fossilize very well. But yeah, so Stan survived this ordeal right there with a bite right on the back of the head right there. And so yeah, Stan survived that injury right there. And if we look at the lower jaw, so I have pictures right here of both sides of the lower jaw, of both sides of the skull. So if you look at the top left corner right here, you are going to see these holes on the lower jaw. Those are more likely going to be parasitic infection wounds right here. So this is similar to Sue. Sue's got some of these, and this is from a parasite. So, and if you look on the bottom right, it is a similar thing. So this is all caused by parasitic infection. So yeah, Stan suffered some of the same stuff the same parasite that Sue did. So that would be very common amongst other Tyrannosaurs, especially Tyrannosaurus Rex. That's all for the pathology on Stan. The next episode would be on March 25th, 2021, and there'll be a Q&A episode. So if you got any questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you actually post your questions in the comment section. Please don't put them on Messenger. Messenger is only for private conversations. Just put your questions in the comment section. And also for you YouTubers out there, feel free to like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and also stomp on that bell so that we can get weekly notifications of every video that comes out. And also, feel free to put your questions in the comments section. I do read your comments and I do read your questions. And I do read them all, and you can get a shout out from me on the Q&A episode. That's going to be pretty cool. And according to my analytics, a lot of you that are checking out the channel are not subscribed yet, so feel free to subscribe. Hit that bell so you can get notified of every weekly video, and also feel free to share the videos too. Share the videos to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs and in paleontology, because that's going to be important to keep getting more people to subscribe to the channel. And also make sure to keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on Instagram, and also you can follow me on Twitter at CSGRAL. It's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of the people around you. Notice if you're younger people out there, to make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you can have. A good education is very important to have a good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. And also, in this kind of time, please wear a mask, social distance, and make sure you wash your hands so that way we can reduce the spread of the virus. And if you are available to get vaccinated, please get vaccinated because that is very important that we get vaccinated to reduce the spread of the virus, and that way we can stay healthy. And also, feel free to check out Colossal Fossils, and I'll put the link in the description down below. And I'll even put links to some papers on Tyrannosaurus Rex, mostly that revolve around Stan. So that way you guys can check those out. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.